G'day, welcome to another episode of Video Game Numbers. Today is going to be a fun one, guys.
What are we doing?
We are talking about MVP, okay, but it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to assign ourselves a player, the top 4 MVP candidates, and we're going to pick it out of a hat.
Oh, mate.
Alright, so whoever you get, you will have to build an argument as to why they deserve the MVP. Okay. So let's start it. Who wants to go first?
Let me go. I'll pick first since I'm next to you anyway. All right.
Don't tell anyone. Just keep it to yourself, and we'll
do a final review later.
We'll do a final review. All right, we'll go around.
I'm feeling this one.
I'm
feeling this one, man.
Oh shit!
You had one job.
This one, you can have that one.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Someone's got an easy one. Come on. Are we revealing?
Let's reveal. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Jokic.
Tatum.
Embiid. Giannis.
Tatum.
Have fun with that. Have fun with that.
Oh, man.
Alright, who wants to start off?
Hang on. If we think whoever we picked is not going to get MVP, can we go the opposite? Can we give out an argument saying why he isn't?
Isn't the whole point to say?
I reckon you can do both.
Okay.
I can talk about why
you can do why they should,
Yeah.
why they shouldn't,
Or why you think they should.
Why you think they shouldn't.
I think none of us got who we originally wanted, or who we actually think is going to.
I don't know who I wanted to.
I have a clear pick.
Okay.
You have a clear pick.
Yeah, I have a clear pick.
Oh, you do?
I have a clear pick, but it's not this guy. So I think we should just do the argument for who we picked,
Okay.
and then
the
our
argument
original on why we think our original pick is still.
Wait, say that one more time.
So we'll just do whoever we picked first, and then we'll still give it. We'll say who we originally thought and why we think that person is better than the person we picked, even though, you know what I mean? Like, even after we've given that argument, we still think that original person is that we want.
Well, as a fun little, I guess, info. Okay, we have the TAB website open, and we are on a page, the MVP page, and the odds are going towards Joel Embiid as a winner.
Yeah.
As a favourite to win, sorry. And then Nikola Jokic as second, Giannis Antetokounmpo third, and Jayson Tatum last.
By a mile.
By a mile.
And just for context, for anyone who's overseas, TAB is like Australia's go-to sports betting platform. There's a bunch of other ones, but yeah, this is TAB.
Yeah.
Sports bet.
That's your go-to, is it?
Yeah. So I guess, who wants to start?
We'll just go in the order of what that is.
Alright, so
who's got Embiid?
So I picked Embiid. I actually thought that Embiid should have won maybe last season or the season before. But it's just the eye test, right? When you watch games. Because I watch both the Denver games and the Philly games. And to me, when I watch the Philly games, I look at Embiid and I'm just like, yo, this guy's like literally doing everything.
Really?
He's scoring every
He's
play.
unstoppable.
He's doing everything. And it's like, yes, he's got James Harden on his team, and James Harden, you know, one of the
But mid-range paint.
MVP and all that stuff. But like, you've got James Harden, but when you watch James Harden play, he doesn't play like James Harden on the Houston Rockets. He's just literally dribbling 3 times, passing a ball into the paint, and then Joel will
Do
hit
the rest.
And then if he gets double teamed, he passes it out. So everything flows around Joel. And if you watch the games where he doesn't play, it's just like a completely different game. Like, the game is completely different. There's so much more ball movement. There's less ISO, and it's like a completely different team. So that's the argument that I'm giving for Joel Embiid getting the MVP.
Fair enough. Well, I got Nikola Jokic, and he's not my number one. He's not who I think should be MVP. Look, I think he's averaging a triple-double, isn't he? No, he's averaging 9.9 assists per game. So that's always a case right there for him to win MVP. Obviously, he's leading his team to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. You know, I don't know what the stats are without Jokic playing. We can pull that up, but I'm sure they're terrible. I mean, we all know that, you know, like Bill said about Embiid, the offense runs through Jokic entirely. I think a lot of people give him shit for his defense. Fair enough. But like, they wouldn't be the first seed without him. I think he obviously makes everyone better around him. He's already the best passing center of all time. They're the first seed. In the Western Conference, are they the best team? I think they are right now as it stands. They've kind of slumped a little bit. I mean, but
that's not really his fault.
Yeah. I mean, best player on the best team in the Western Conference. Yeah, that's like a very compelling argument itself. Yeah. Add on the fact that he's almost averaging a triple-double with 0.1 assists off. He's shooting 63% from the floor for the season. I'm not sure if the stats I'm looking at are accurate, but if he's shooting 63% from the floor, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Shooting 40% from three.
Efficient, but yeah.
God damn. Yeah. Well, I never envisioned him being 63% shooting efficient. That's usually like your Tyson Chandlers, like Robert Williams, like
Like
threats,
dunk only.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
But he's money from the paint, like his little hook shots.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it is. Yeah, and he's got like very good footwork as well. I mean, hey, look, that's my argument for him. He's not my original pick, but I mean, if he gets it, I wouldn't be mad. But like, yeah.
Do you think many people would be mad if he got it as a three-peat MVP?
Should I be picking again? Should I be giving my case against him now? We're in a bit though. That's my question. I can give my case against him later, but let's cover this first, and then maybe afterwards. I think what we should do. Let's talk about who we think is our personal MVP and why it shouldn't be whoever we drew out.
In the same
right now or after they?
No, after as in the next round.
Yeah.
Next round. Okay, all right. So for me, I picked out Giannis Antetokounmpo. So this is a bit of an interesting one, and it kind of like piggybacks off of what you're saying. I mean, the best player on the best team in the East. Technically, you get a free pass as a top MVP candidate. I think, but Giannis has missed. How many games has he missed? They played 70 as the point of this recording, and he's played 55, so he's missed about 15 games. It's a big chunk of the season that he's missed. But I mean, in the games that he's played, he's still doing regular Giannis stuff, like 31 points per game. I think his efficiency's kind of dropped off a little bit,
especially from the free throw line.
Yeah, there was a big fallout there. But I think Giannis as a player is not about the numbers that he put up. It's about the effort that he actually puts into the game, right? When he gets the ball in his hand, he's got one goal, right? Just take it into the hoop, and it's that determination that I feel, really makes him deserve that MVP sort of award, because I don't think any other player really wants it as much as Giannis. Like, he doesn't have the best skill set.
He had a quote the other day, I don't know if you saw, he was saying like how he's like not as talented as KD.
Yeah.
Kind of drives him to your point. He's desperate. So I think that's what he said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he's got physical capabilities, but he's all heart, man. Like, I think, so that'll be my argument.
Yeah. He's like, fuck, what do I say?
Honestly,
lucky last.
Look, this is not my choice, obviously, as you can tell. And he is the fourth, pick by a mile.
In terms of odds.
So $81 versus $5 is the next.
He's the next, the
next guy up. Yeah. It's a big fall.
I honestly don't know what to say about this guy. I'm not a Celtics fan. I don't follow. Like, the only reason why I follow or watch the Tatum or Celtics game is because I bet on him. But I mean, like you said, right? He's one of the best teams in the East, and they just clinched playoff. They're third.
Yeah.
That's about it. Other than that, in terms of field goal percentage, he's not the best. I feel like I'm giving negative grades. Rather than why I shouldn't pick, because I honestly don't know.
Well, it's hard because in the MVP race, it's always top three, and out of that top three, just doesn't even happen.
Yes.
Like, he was consistent before the All-Star, and then after the All-Star break, he's kind of gone downhill a little bit.
He's a bit hot and cold.
A bit hot and cold.
Yeah.
I felt like he just used up all his energy in the All-Star. But I mean, he's always played well in the playoffs. I know that doesn't count in MVP race, but yeah.
Can I add one more point to my Giannis campaign?
Please, as long as I don't have to talk about Jayson.
Alright, I was going to say one more point about Giannis this season, especially this season. Like, he's been pretty banged up. He's had knee issues. He had all sorts of stuff. Like, wrist, hand issues. But he's still, continuing to play where he can. He's not sitting out unnecessary games. Because you could say,
if I may, for Jayson Tatum, he's played 66 out of 71 games. He's had a banged up wrist and stuff.
I don't give up.
I don't get it.
That's an argument for you right there, bro. You should have said that.
But I'm saying, like, technically Giannis could be coasting right now. He could be like saying, but look, I'm still banged up. Let me sit out back-to-backs or like here and there. Because, the Bucks are so much better than everyone else in the East. Like, they're clear-cut favourites. He doesn't have to play. But he's still playing where he can, so...
Also, without Jayson Tatum, the Celtics can still play.
Without Giannis, the Bucks can still play as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They don't need to play, but they're playing. Yeah.
On the other hand, without Jokic and Embiid,
their teams are in trouble.
that's like a 12 seed team right there.
So coming around here, are we saying now...
So this is the interesting
Now we go back.
Because the two of us picked the two players that we didn't think would win. And the one that we think will win is the one that the other picked.
Yeah.
For you two,
So I picked Embiid, but I think Jokic will win. Well, I think he should win.
You drew out him.
So I drew Embiid, but then I believe that Nikola should win. I mean,
and I drew out Nikola, but I think Embiid should win.
Okay. I mean, either way, I'm not mad whoever wins the two of them.
It's
At
very
this point,
close,
it's just technicality.
It's very close.
Honestly, for me, I think the race is between Embiid and Giannis. I don't think Jokic should be.
Really?
I think it's Embiid and Giannis. The reason why, man, I really think, look at their win-loss percentage. The Nuggets, 67.1%. That's below the Bucks. That's below the 76ers. It's below the Celtics as well in terms of win-loss percentage. So, he's having a great season, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm talking about Jokic, right? He's having a great season.
Nuggets got one extra game.
Yeah, I'm looking at percentage right now, though. But
Tatum's got a better percentage than Giannis and Embiid.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, wait, these are stats, I think, for the games that those guys have played. But I'm saying, in terms of win-loss record, let's see, Nuggets are 47-23 overall. The Celtics are 49-23, because they just lost today. Like, the Celtics, Bucks, and 76ers all have better records than the Denver Nuggets. So out of these four candidates already, Jokic is fourth in record. He's having a historic season in terms of almost averaging a triple-double, don't get me wrong. But because he's already won 2 MVPs and voted fatigue is a factor as well, I personally think, unless you do some crazy-ass shit, like go 74-8 or whatever, I don't think you should three-peat. That is my personal opinion. I think Embiid is having by far the best season of his career. They got off to a pretty slow start as well, the 76ers. They were playing around 500 ball.
Yeah, they did.
And look at them now, they're second in the East.
Yeah.
Obviously, Embiid's led the way. I think this is Embiid's year. I still think they're going to lose in the playoffs early on. I don't think they're making the conference finals.
This is the argument.
The regular season-wise?
Yeah. This is the argument that's going around. It's like, what is the voting criteria?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying. Because it's like, if we're talking just strictly about numbers, then Nikola should win. But then if we're talking about who's the most dominant on the team, then Giannis.
It's actually neither of those. So I think the one-liner criteria for MVP is which player contributes to their team's success the most.
Yeah.
So there's 2 key words there: success and the most.
That's
Right?
most valuable.
Yeah.
And he named Jayson Tatum, man.
So you can't. That's why a guy like Shea is not in the conversation for MVP because he's putting up historic numbers, but
His team.
the OKC's not there, so he's not in the conversation.
I don't know, man. I feel like,
Is there
I feel like
anyone
Jokic-
that's three-peat and MVP?
if I was the one to
have
have
Larry
they'd
Bird
be
did
3.
it.
Historically,
I
yes.
think MJ did it.
No, MJ didn't.
He did it?
No.
Well, Larry Bird. I don't know who
Just
else.
looked at it yesterday.
You can search that up now, but Larry Bird did.
Russell, Chamberlain, and Bird.
Well, there you go.
Ah.
Oh, wow, so 2 Celtics. Well, Jayson Tatum's going to get his first one this year and he's going to win 2 more.
That ain't happening.
So it has been done.
So it has been done. So it is possible for Jokic to get a three-peat.
The way I see it is you can make an argument that LeBron deserved 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't think it's
more
more he gets a 3-peat. That's the thing. I think he deserves to win it, but I don't think he's going to win it. Simply because he's already won 2
Yeah.
in a row.
That's a huge factor.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give it to Michael Jordan. I reckon Michael Jordan should have won it
LeBron should have
every
won
year.
it. LeBron should have
won it every year the last 10 years, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Unless you do some crazy ass shit, win 75
fair
games
enough.
in a regular
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I know he's doing crazy ass shit in terms of his numbers, but it's not like Giannis or Embiid's their numbers. They're not slouches either. They're having incredible box score numbers themselves too. So I think you look at it like that, like, I don't know, man. I just don't think he's going to win it.
I mean, what, you think he's going to have to average 35 points to...
I think his numbers aren't the issue. I think it's his team. Like, their record isn't as good as, like, the Sixers, the Bucks, or even the Celtics. Not that he'll fall behind Jayson Tatum in the MVP race, but, like, from, like, a pure win-loss perspective, he just falls behind, Yeah. Like, 67, like, they won 67% of their games, which is, like, it's pretty good, but Giannis has won 71% of the games he's played. Embiid's won 68%.
But you got to factor in the fact that the Western Conference is still much better than the East at this point.
No way. This season, you really think that?
I think right now the West is again.
The West
I think
is
at the
still
beginning
better.
of the season it was the East and the West. Maybe the East a little bit more, but now
So-
I think the West is definitely more. Like,
How-
with KD and Kyrie going from the East.
Yeah.
to the West.
I keep forgetting about the Sun.
No, but like how I look at the strength of the conferences is I look at the team standings, right? I look at the bottom team standings, mind you, not just overall.
That's fair.
So if we look in the Eastern Conference, right, we've got what's the first team that is above 500? We've got Hawks in 8, and then we've got teams that are sub 25, sub 30 floating around there, right? And then we've got Western Conference. I mean, we got teams at 7th, but the thing is, the teams that are in between 500, like the worst team is 26%, like, and the next ones are 44.
But you also look at the top dogs, man. Like, look at the Nuggets, right? Nuggets 66.2 and then win percentage. Kings 61, Grizzlies 61, and then drops to 54 for the 4 seed Suns. Look at the East, 71, 68.6, 68.1, 61.6. Man, I don't know. I think the East is most. If you ask me right now, which 3 teams are the best teams in the NBA? I'm saying the top 3 teams in the East in that respective order.
But again, that kind of favours my point because it kind of means that the East is top heavy, isn't
That's
it?
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, the East is top heavy.
Yeah.
It's hella top heavy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like overall, the Western Conference competition is much tighter. So you can't just base it on the record itself and be like, yeah, Nuggets being first in the West doesn't mean as much as the Bucks being first. They could be equally, if not more important.
Let's look at this. 32 and 13 against the West, the Nuggets are, which means they're 15 and 11 against the East, which means they struggle against the East more. So doesn't that mean the East is a better conference? Or maybe that just means the Nuggets struggle against the East. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at it, but it's an interesting point. So who did you have to win? You're backing Embiid.
No, I think.
You're backing.
He's back.
I think Embiid will win, but I think
back.
Jokic should win.
I think Embiid should and will win.
I think Embiid should and will win as well. I mean,
So all that, bro, you were going all out for Giannis, all that was for nothing.
I had to root for Giannis.
Well, that's a game, right?
I had to root for Giannis.
I had to root for this guy.
Look,
He made a classic case in this year.
okay, so wait, I haven't said why my guy that I drew, Giannis, why he shouldn't win. The reason why I think he shouldn't win is you look at his numbers, and maybe it's because of his health as well. Like all of his counting stats around rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, they've all gone down. He's averaging less than 1 steal. He's averaging less than 1 block a game.
Yeah.
That's not Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis is easily 1.5 for both of those cats.
You're looking at numbers.
Forget counting stats. Here's what I think. Eye test wise, the Bucks are fucking good without Giannis.
Yeah.
And that's with
But that's
Middleton,
what I mean.
and that's with Middleton still working his way back into the
But that's what I
rotation.
mean. Like, you take away Giannis from the Bucks,
They're
they could still win. So he's not
They're
really that important.
I think if you look at these 4 players, in terms of if you took one of them off the team, which team would suck the most?
Yeah.
It would be Jokic. 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's Jokic easy.
It's pretty close again between Jokic and Embiid.
I think it's Jokic.
It's Jokic for sure.
Yeah.
Even though I'm backing Embiid,
Because, it's Jokic. If Embiid leaves, you've got James Harden, and he spent 3 years doing that shit, isolating every single player. So he's like, Embiid's out, time to
But at the same time, he's not able to do it at that level, at the Houston level.
Just because he can't do it doesn't mean he won't do it.
Yeah,
He'll
he'll try to do it.
He'll try to do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you've got Harold Sully in for Embiid, and
Right. So you take away Tatum, you take away Giannis, and both of those teams could still succeed and do very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we have it then. Jokic is favorite to win for all 4 of us.
Wait, what?
No, that's
No.
We're saying Embiid.
No, we're saying Embiid.
No, I think it's a Jokic.
What?
No,
No,
we're
I was
saying-
saying Embiid. Well, I was saying if you took Jokic off the Nuggets, that would be the worst team of the four. But I still think Embiid should win.
Yeah.
Oh, should win.
No,
Yeah.
so
But
all
who
three
do
of
you
us,
think will win?
all three of us said Embiid will win.
Will win.
Yeah.
And us two think Embiid should win. Bill thinks Jokic should win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jokic should win. But I think Embiid will win.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Well, there you have it. I know that has been it was a pretty long one, but
Not for your segment.
Yeah,
but I love hearing you guys. Okay, but
You know,
I
you know what's the shit part about this, right? We picked the same player to win, so like, there's no punishment if somebody picked the right player or the wrong player to win.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's like, oh, Kev, you're really rooting for like Jokic, you reckon he'll win, and then he ends up winning, that means all three of us has to do something fucking dumb as
I
punishment.
mean we can.
No, it's because everyone takes into consideration the winningness of the team too much. I feel like you should just get rid of that criteria. Who cares if the team's winning or not? Whoever's the most valuable on a team should get the award.
So you're saying Devin Booker would have got the award 5 years ago when he was like putting up numbers for a shit team, or like
Okay,
Damian Lillard.
okay, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Your team's got to be at least in the playoffs.
Now you're adding more criteria.
No. The criteria is that your team needs to have at least a chance of winning the championship.
Define
So that pretty much locks in like
Yeah,
five
so-
guys, like the
yeah,
top
'cause-
three.
Yeah, because like at the end, the votes go in at the end of the season,
Yeah,
right? So then they go in right before the playoffs.
yeah.
When the votes go in, the playoffs have already been set. So
Yeah.
it's just you just got to vote for some motherfucker on the playoff team. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's like top.
So they should
second
filter
seed.
out teams that are like bottom
Yeah,
five.
they should
basically.
filter out teams that are not in the playoffs when they cast their vote, and they should
Yeah.
just vote on whoever's in that pool of playoff teams, right? Because it's like every player in every team in that playoff pool has a chance of being the champion after what 4 rounds. So
But as the league MVP, wouldn't you say the team's success has something to do with it as well?
it does, but like at that point, if you're the 8th seed in the
Yeah,
playoffs,
yeah.
going into the playoffs, you would still count yourself as successful, right?
So
'Cause at that point-
If you're the Celtics or the Bucks and you end up in the 8th seed, I wouldn't count that season as a success. But
That's
if you're
true.
if you're OKC and you get the 8th seed with Shea leading the way, that's a huge success.
So let's
Context
say
matters.
looking at the standings, the East standings from today, all right? We got the Hawks in the 8th seed. Do you think Trae Young will be in that conversation as MVP? I don't know, but just as an example, right?
No,
Like we're putting Trae Young's name up against all these other guys. Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum.
that's what I'm saying. But like out of everyone here, right?
That's what you're not saying.
No, out of everyone here, every one of these players is in a playoff team except for Dame. So it's
Yeah.
already the criteria is already kind of set that way. No one from a non-playoff team is here except for Dame, but Dame is Dame.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you should do the voting and not give a shit about who's 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4. You know what I mean? So the criteria should just be the playoffs, and it's like whoever is the most valuable on that team,
Yeah.
but not care about who's
Yeah.
first in the division, who's first in the conference, who's second. Because that's pretty much what it is.
That
right?
means Steve
That's like-
Nash wouldn't have won 2 back-to-back MVPs because the Suns were really freaking good when he won the MVPs.
Yeah, but then you're changing the criteria again.
Yeah,
Like,
but you could
that's the
argue-
one where Shaq.
No, it was Kobe. Kobe was like runner-up basically both of those years because he was putting up historic offensive numbers. Like it was a season he scored 81 points and it was averaging like something ridiculous, like 35, 36 points.
So you're telling me you think Steve Nash should have won that?
No, he did win. So you're saying
Yeah,
Kobe
I
would
know,
have won.
but you agree that Steve Nash should have won that year.
Well,
Or do you think that Kobe should have won? Because if you think
I'm
that Kobe
biased.
should have
No,
won,
I'm biased because I think
topic.
I think Kobe should have won because I'm biased because I love Kobe. But
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you think Kobe should have won, then you're agreeing with my
guys. We've reached the 25-minute mark. Okay, we can have another discussion.
Let us know in the
Past MVPs for another episode. Okay.
do you think the MVP
But-
criteria should change?
So yeah, look, everyone, the viewers, let us know who will win, who should win this year, and if there should be any changes in the the voting criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, I guess that's it for our MVP episode. So thanks for watching.
We'll see if Joel Embiid gets it this year.